Mhm.
Gets to the ropes, Marciano decides to try some uppercuts. Watch. Roland, still plenty game, will punch off the ropes and counter with his own right. First $1 million game since the famous Dempsey Tunney long count battle in Chicago 8 years before. Everyone's stunned by the fury of Lewis's attack.
What's happening, my people? It's Cast Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. Now, as usual, before I get started, let me give a shout out to the JBT community. It's just boxing talk. We're a group of people who just love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. And you don't have to have a podcast. The only requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. That's all. Miss Cass, hashtag JBT, Mike Mazik. Salute to everyone and welcome to another episode of Cass Sports, the Box Historian. Today, the life and career of Harry Greb. And you know what time it is. If it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's the Box Historian bringing you all that boxing history. Boxing is the greatest sport of them all. That's why we love it. Can't get enough of it. As everyone, Friday afternoon edition of Cass Sports, the Box Historian. We're right at the weekend now, and it is a huge weekend. We got the big light heavyweight showdown for the first ever 4-belt undisputed at light heavyweight, and we got the drawing for the big JBT raffle coming up tomorrow. So get your tickets today. Okay, don't wait until tomorrow. You might go to get your ticket tomorrow, and it's over. We will have a winner. 3 tremendous prizes. We're going to go over the prizes. This is the last day. So, big weekend. We're going to go over that card in a little while, too. It ain't going to be like last week. I was going over the Mungia card, and Mike I think it was Mike Grimm told me it was over. It had been that morning. I forgot it was in Australia. But this one hasn't happened yet, has it? Bivol better be Ave? I don't think so. I think it's tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to go over it in a few minutes. Look at who's on it and their records and, that kind of thing. But a big weekend for you. The big JBT raffle and the big light heavyweight showdown is here. I think they got Dimitri Bivol going in favorite, I believe. But it should be a tremendous fight. First ever undisputed, 4-belt undisputed at 175, because Michael Spinks was undisputed, but he was 2-belt, WBA, WBC. So now, better be Ave or Bivol, if it's not a draw, that is, But Harry Greb today. He was a legendary fighter from back in the 20s. Started out at welterweight, fought as high as heavyweight, but he did most of his best work at middleweight in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. That's who we're going to close out this week with. Harry Greb, legendary middleweight, one of the top middleweights of all time. Remember when I did we had the fantasy matchups Monday with Marvin Hagler? He fought Harry Greb, remember? I think Marvin edged him out, but I don't know. Harry might have beaten Marvin. I would have to go back and look at it, but it would have been a good matchup either way. Yeah, Harry was like that. Ant McQueen in the building. Salute Ant McQueen. Talking about the big weekend. Not only the light heavyweight showdown, but the JBT raffle. Don't get any bigger than that. And I don't know what for sure. When I know the raffle, I think it's going to be after the fight because they in Saudi Arabia, so it won't be one of those 1 o'clock in the morning finishes, like when it's coming from Vegas or somewhere. So I think the drawing will be after the fight, and we're supposed to do a joint show tomorrow, and that's when the drawing is going to be done. So get your tickets. You still got today. I think the weigh-in, I think they had it. I missed it, but yeah. But Riyadh season, that's what it is. And it's a pretty good card. Let's look at it. Look at the card real quick. Okay. Go from the bottom to the top. We got Mohammed Alakai, something like that, versus Jesus Gonzalez. This is Muhammad's first fight, debut fight. Jesus has won 3 and lost 2. Now Alakai makes his professional debut with famed trainer Sam Gallagher in his corner. And Alakai is a product of the Gallagher Boxing Group alongside Jack Massey, who fight for the IBF World Cruiserweight title in the co-main event. Yep. Next, we got Ben Whitaker coming in at 8-0, going up against Liam Cameron, 23-6. Undefeated showman Ben Whitaker takes a huge step up in competition against Liam Cameron. Whitaker has captivated audiences with his Nassim Hamed type in-fight antics, and I want to go further back, the Drunken Master. But Cameron hasn't lost by knockout, most recently dropping a split decision to top prospect Lyndon Arthur. This is a great litmus test for Whitaker. Yes, it is. Sky Nicholson, 11-0, versus Raven Chapman, 9-0. Somebody's got to go in this one. Yep. Now, Nicholson defends her WBC featherweight title against Chapman. She'll be dealing with a size disadvantage as she takes up on her first undefeated opponent since her 6th pro fight. Okay. Then we got Chris Eubank Jr., 33 wins, 3 losses versus Camille Severemeta, I think. 25 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws. Okay. Now, Eubank Jr. and Severemeta clash for the IBO World Middleweight title. Eubank Jr. fights someone not named Liam Smith for the first time since February 2022. Severemeta is on a 6-fight undefeated streak but is most well known for his losing efforts against Gennady Golovkin, better known as Triple G, and Jaime Munguia in 2020 and 2021, respectively. Fabio Wardley, 17-0, 1 draw, versus Frazier Clark, 8-0, 1 draw. And this is, again, somebody's got to go again. Both of these are British heavyweights, and they going for the BBFC heavyweight title. Now, Wardley has won all but one fight by knockout, and Clark has won 6 of his 8 by knockout. So, wow, somebody's got to go, and look like it likely to be a knockout. Both of these guys used to get them up out of there. And these two fighters fought to a draw in March, a couple months back. And the rivalry heated up in anticipation of this rematch. This is certainly not a fight to miss, with both men looking to make a statement. I think this is like 2 fights before the main event, because next we got the co-main. Jai Apataya, 25-0 versus Jack Massey, 22 wins, 2 losses. He's got a stablemate in that first fight, making his debut. Now, Apataya and Massey compete for the IBF World Cruiserweight title. Apataya is a huge puncher with 19 knockouts, and recently put a stamp on his rivalry with former cruiser king, Maurice Breedis. He has all the signs of an elite talent. The only thing standing in his way is Massey, who should provide a physical challenge. He has a solid corner behind him. And then the main event, of course, is Dmitry Bivol, Artur Beterbiev, for the undisputed light heavyweight championship, 175. Now, Beterbiev-Bivol is one of the biggest fights in boxing right now. With a combined record of 43-0, power meets precision in this one. Yeah, this is going to be good. Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more in the building. What's up, Bruce Gas? I was just touching on these cards tomorrow. What else? We're going to do Harry Greb today. Salute Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. Now, the main event. Yeah, power meets precision. That should be the name of it. I don't know if it is, but it should be. That would be a good name for this event. Power meets precision. Now, Beterbiev comes in with a perfect record, 20-0, 20 knockouts. And he has been storming through big name opposition like Callum Smith and Anthony Yard. And he looks to defend his IBF, WBC, and WBO light heavyweight titles, looking to add that WBA of Bivol's to it and become the first 4-belt undisputed at 175. But standing in his way, Bivol comes into the fight with a record of 23-0, 12 knockouts, and he holds the WBA light heavyweight title. That's all Beterbiev needs to complete the puzzle. Now, Bivol flew under the radar prior to his 2022 dominant win over Canelo Alvarez, but he has since proven himself to be one of the most technical fighters in boxing. So there it is, man. That's tomorrow. Power meets precision, okay? And also tomorrow, the JBT drawing. So big weekend. How's everybody doing today? Appreciate you stopping by for the Harry Greb. That's right, Bruce Gas. Bruce Gas told me earlier in the week I was saying Greb, you know. Yeah, with names. And I heard people say Greb before, but I was still saying Greb. But Bruce said it's Greb, so I've been saying Greb ever since. Harry Greb is going up against no, we doing the profile. Harry ain't going up against nobody. Melanin Queen 27 in the building. What's up, Melanin Queen 27? Hope your day is going well. Always good to see you. Well, Harry went up against Marvin Hagler a couple of weeks ago on Fantasy Matchups Monday, remember? I forgot who won. It's in my other book. I got a whole separate book for the Fantasy Matchups. That's way back there. I forgot who won. Anybody remember? I think Marvin might have edged him. I'm not sure. But next week, Fantasy Matchups Monday is Manny Pacquiao. And don't forget the big debate is Monday night too. Cat Sports the Box Story versus BVO Boxing TV. Floyd Mayweather versus Thomas Hearns. I got Thomas Hearns. So I'm 75% of the way to winning already. I got Thomas Hearns. What is Floyd gonna do with that 5.5 inch height disadvantage and 6.5 inch reach disadvantage? Okay. But today is Harry Greb. Yeah. But that's Monday, don't miss it. It'll be fun, and it's helping my brother BBO's channel out and everything. So yeah, he's trying to start up like a debate series. But I'm one and done. I'm doing this one. I got roped into this. I'm not a debater. But you know, if you got the facts, it don't matter how you deliver them. The fact, you can't beat facts, right? And I got the facts on my side. So, but you're helping the brother's channel out and everything, man. So yeah, if you got it doing anything 8 o'clock Monday night, stop by and check it out. Okay. And yeah, today is going to be Harry Greb, and we're going to get started in about 5 minutes. But yeah, good to see everybody again today on this Friday afternoon. We've had a big day so far. Court was in session this morning in the hangout. Started up with Press the Legend with the coffee and donuts at 6:30. Then Jay Hardcore was in the hangout. And yeah, court was in session. I saw a little part of it. And then Remo at 10. Now Cash Sports said 2. I don't know if we had a Cadbury's Corner today or not. I was busy. But yeah, they just do boxing at 4. Friday night hangout at 8. Do we still have a Friday night hangout? And then I know 9 o'clock the Rise podcast and 10 p.m. Friday nights with the Angry White Men. Closing it down. William Old School and Rant and D1. Yeah. Oh, if you don't miss that. That is a fire show. Those two. Angry White Men. Mm-hmm. They fit their names like a glove too. If you haven't checked it out, yeah. They fit that title. That title fits them like a glove, excuse me. Yeah. But Harry Greb, legendary middleweight from the 20s. He might have fought into the early 30s. Now, I know he came in through the teens, like 1915, up into the 20s. I don't know if he went into the 30s or not, but we're going to find out in a few minutes. Yep. It's Friday. It's profile time. Thank you, Melanie Queen 27. Appreciate you. Appreciate it. Yep. And this is the last day to get into that raffle. Okay? So you better get your tickets, because tomorrow the names will come out. Now I don't know how we doing it. They said they had some kind of new technological way, because so I don't think it's the putting the names in the hat thing, but I got to get in contact with Jay Hardcore, because I'm not sure, because I would have to be the one that cut all those names up and put them in the hat. So I hope they do have some kind of new fancy technological way to do it. That's a lot of work. But I got to find out, because we got to get started on it today. Have you heard anything about it, Melanie Queen? How the drawing is going to be done? I told you I'm small potatoes over here in this JBT. I leave that stuff to the big wigs, to decide. Like Let's Talk Fashion. That's one of the big wigs there. Salute Let's Talk Fashion. How you doing today? I didn't know you was in it. Y'all decided on the how the names gonna come out of this? Y'all got that big technological way. I can shoot the names to whoever wants them. I got them all written down and ready to go. So somebody just let me know. But I guess we're gonna have our meeting tomorrow too, so we'll have it together. Somebody will, whatever happens, those 3 prizes will go to somebody tomorrow, and you should have them. I would say by like Wednesday next week, everybody should be in possession of their prizes, because I remember the TV drawing was on a Sunday, and D1 sent me a picture that Wednesday looking at his TV. So I'm gonna give you 3 days. By next Wednesday, you should have your prizes. Okay. Now, if you don't have the headphones, I don't have them. They got lost in the mail. But if you see me with a pair on like that, that's not them. Okay. We'll get you another pair, because those headphones are fire. That's if Big Dre with them. Big Dre said I could hold them for a couple months. Okay. But let's get ready to talk about Harry Greb today. Legendary man in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Bad man. He was like a technical type fighter because he had 299 fights. I don't know why he didn't go and get that last one and make 300. He stopped one fight short of 300, but he did lose vision, so he probably couldn't. He when he was taking his eye test, he couldn't see out of one eye, so they say he fooled the doctor by memorizing the letters on the chart. When he was, I guess, looking out of the other eye, he memorized them. So when the doctor told him to read them, he memorized which line. He must have been a smart man. So the doctor said, read line 4. He couldn't see out of the other eye, but he had it memorized. So the doctor thought he was reading them. But when he was looking out of the first eye, he memorized everything, the line and everything. Bad man. And he got away with that too. Yeah. He had 299 fights. Yup. We're going to talk about that. Let me be quiet. I'm going to told the whole show before the thing even gets started. Okay. We're going to get it together. I guess we have a meeting tomorrow too, right? So we'll have it together because I think the drawing is going to be done late in the evening. But whatever happens, like I said, somebody will have, you won't have them tomorrow, but you'll know that you won them tomorrow. And I would say by early next week, just say Wednesday at the latest, midweek, you should have your prizes. If the headphones don't get lost in the mail. And get lost in the mail. I ain't gonna have, I'm sorry. But yeah. Man, if those little headphones really get lost in the mail, they're gonna swear I got them. I better stop. Wouldn't that be something if they really get lost in the mail? They're gonna say, Cass got my headphones using them. Wouldn't that be a trip? Man. But let's go with today's show. Harry Greb. Yeah. And then if we run a little short, I got like 6 or 7 guys, other guys that fought against Harry in this era. We're going to talk about them. Yep. So we covered for today. Okay. 225. Miss Lonnie Lee, his work hours changed, and he hadn't been in here in a minute. Good show this morning. Let's talk fashion. That was the season finale, right? When does next season start? Wednesday? Next Wednesday? Man, we got to have our fashion. We're used to it 2 times a week. You don't get to take no breaks and stuff. Take a break Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Wednesday and Fridays, we need our fashion. All right? But how's everybody? Ready for the weekend? A big one, too. We got, like I said, the big light heavyweight showdown and the JBT wrap. October 22nd. Damn. Today is the 12th. Wow. Okay, so we're going to miss 2 Wednesdays and a Friday. Man, I guess we got to watch some old ones. Yeah. Somebody called me from a 443 number. It might have been Jay, but his name usually popped up, so I don't know. I didn't answer it because it was almost time for the show and no name popped up, so yeah, I don't call back. Okay. We're going to have to start a few minutes early, 2:27. It was freezing this morning. Yeah, that is a great card, though. We got a guy making his debut tomorrow. We got 2 fights where undefeated fighters are going up against each other. 2 fights where the old got to go. One of them, both guys is like almost up in both of them like up in the 80s. One in the 90s. Knockout rate. So that is just a good card. Then the co-main Jai Apataya and Jack Massey. That should be a good fight. And the 2 guys, I think that's undefeated. They got a draw. I think they had a draw earlier this year. This is the rematch. Yeah. Both undefeated. They fought in May. Yeah, they had a draw in March. So this is the rematch. So maybe nobody's over go again. You know, they had the last fight in May. And it's really turned into a real rivalry. So don't miss that one. I think that's like 2 fights before the main. You know, you got the main, the co-main. I think that one is the third. Is that one comes up, then the co-main, then the main. So don't miss that one. It's Fabio Wardley and Frazier Clark. That should be a good one. So just a good card overall, man. You got Ben Whitaker, Chris Eubank Jr. making his return to the ring. I think since 2022, got the young rising female fighter Sky Nicholson. I think she's going to be the next big thing when the Groot and Amanda and Katie Taylor and all them get out of the way. Yeah, Sky Nicholson. She's going up against the undefeated woman, though, Raven Chapman. So, Sky has a WBC. So, man, this is just a good card. Don't miss none of them. I wouldn't miss any of them. Ben Whitaker is the second fight, right? So, wow. And then from then on, it just heats up. Sky is next. Chris Eubank next. Then the 2 guys that had to draw, both undefeated, is next. Then the co-main with Jaya Pattaya and Jack Massey. That might steal the night. And then Artur Beterbiev and Dimitri Bivol. I think Bivol is going in favorite, I believe. I don't know. I'm neutral now. I was leaning Bivol, but I don't know anymore, man. I'm just glad we're going to get to see it. I'm just glad we're getting it. The fans win this one. That's who wins this one. Us boxing fans. Okay. Man, I don't even have the thing up, and it's time to start talking about Harry. But it's very simple. Harry Greb, I got it sitting right in there ready. There it is. The life and career of Harry Greb. I said Greb again. It's Greb. I heard people say Greb all the time. I'm just used to Greb, but it's Harry Greb. Bruce Gas corrected me earlier in the week. Yeah. Did everybody see the show on Maine yesterday? We had a guy from Maine. Damn, I forgot his name. But he was in here and he said he was right there at the place where Ali and Liston fought that fight up there in Maine. He said he could reach out and touch it right at that. He was in Lewiston, Maine, where the fight was at, and he was right there at the place where they fought at. Yeah. And then we talked about this big time trainer. He said that's the personal friend of his. The Tavern. Yeah, that was his name. The Tavern. He was in here. Yeah. And Maryland is next week. Maryland is next Thursday. What's the name of it again? Boxing in the States. Maryland. But anyway, Harry Greb. He was born June 6, 1894. Okay? I don't need this right now. Let me bring that closer. Okay. June 6, 1894. Okay, that was back there. And he was nicknamed, he had 3 nicknames: the Pittsburgh Windmill, the Smoke City Wildcat, and the Pittsburgh Bearcat. So I guess you can guess where he's from. Pittsburgh, right? Now, Greb ranked the 5th best pound-for-pound boxer of all time by Sports Illustrated. Number 5, right? That's kind of high for me, but definitely top 15, I would say. Yeah. Now, he fought out of the orthodox stance, right? He was 5 foot 8 inches tall. He had a reach of 71 inches. Okay, like I told you earlier, he had 299 fights in his career. He won 261. He lost 16. He had 19 draws. Wow, a lot of draws. 1 no contest, and 49 by knockout. So I guess he wasn't really a power guy, 299 fights, 49 by knockout. So nah, not really a power guy. Okay. Very grand. Give me glad when they finished with that grass. They was going to show up earlier, but they always show up right at 2 o'clock. We'll talk to him about that. Now, he was the American light heavyweight champion from 1922 to 1923, and the world middleweight champion from 1923 to 1926. He fought 299 times in his 13-year career. Figure that, 299 times in 13 years. Excuse me. I'm back. You know I had to get my calculator. 299 times in 13 years. That comes out to 23 fights per year. Yeah, you heard it right. 23 fights per year. Wow. Okay. Man average 23 fights per year. Okay, now let's continue. And his career began at around 140. And despite starting as a welterweight, he was frequently squaring off against and beating light heavyweights and even heavyweights sometimes, okay? 147 all the way up to heavyweight. Now let's check out Harry's fighting style. What kind of style did he have? Harry Greb. Anybody coming? Nope. Yeah, Harry Greb. Now he had a highly aggressive, fast, and swarming style of fighting. He also used dirty fighting tactics, including spinning his opponent and using his heel and laces of his gloves. Oh, Harry. Now, Greb suffered several injuries during his career, including blindness in one eye. Yeah, I was telling you about that. And he suffered only 2 stoppage losses in his career. The first was in his 7th year when he was knocked out by an opponent who heavily outweighed him. And the second time happened 3 years later when he broke the radius of his left arm. And he finished the round, but he was unable to continue. So, you know, that counts as a stoppage, right? Okay, let's look at his early life and then on into his professional career. Oh, man, the pictures are beautiful. Remo in it? Yeah, Remo's in here. Let's talk fashion. October the 20th. Oh yeah, that's when the next season starts. So let's talk fashion. October 22nd. Okay. Yeah, excellent show this morning though. Excellent season overall. Great job, Remo. Proud of you. Great job with that. Let's talk fashion. Okay, let's talk about Greb's early life and get into his professional career. Okay. Now, Harry Greb was born as Edward Henry Greb, Cash. Harry Greb was born as Edward Henry Greb to a German immigrant father and mother, and his mother was of German descent, right? Father was 100% German, mother was of German descent, okay? Now, Pius and Annie Greb, that was his mother and father's name. And they raised him in a working class household. Greb began his professional boxing career in 1913, fighting mostly around his hometown of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Now by 1915, he was fighting world-class opposition, notably Hall of Famer Tommy Gibbons and reigning middleweight champion George Chip, whom he faced twice during 1915, okay? Both were non-title fights. Okay, Chip had the championship, was the middleweight champion, but he must have been scared of Harry because he didn't put his title on the line. Neither one of those times he fought it, right? That's how they did back then. A lot, you know. Somebody that you know not sure you can beat. It's a non-title fight, which I don't think was fair, but that's how they did it. And Greb lost both those fights by newspaper decisions, which he would later avenge I told you about the newspaper decisions real quick. The fights, it was a no decision era, so if nobody got knocked out or anything, the fight ended, both men on their feet. It was just no draw, just nothing, just no decision. But some newspaper reporters at ringside would get together and print a winner in the newspaper. And that was unofficially, wasn't part of your official record, but that's what a newspaper decision was. Yeah. You hear that a lot with those guys back then, the old newspaper decision. Now, Greb would fight 37 times in 1917. Yeah, 1 year. And that's an entire career nowadays. 37 times. I told you, average 23 fights a year. 299 fights in 13 years. Mike Rim in the building. What's up, Mike? I'm gonna hurry Greb today on this big historic weekend. We're gonna have a first ever 4-belt champion at 175, maybe if they don't have a draw, and the big JBT raffle winners will be announced, or winner, it could be one, will be announced this weekend. Okay, so big, huge, historic weekend in boxing. Okay. And yeah, there's some great prizes too. And now I done lost my place. It's Mike Rim's fault. I read his name, but I got it back. There we go. Yeah, he fought 37 times in 1917, man, and that was a record. For the amount of fights in 1 year, and that will never be broken. No way. People don't even fight 37 times in their entire career nowadays. So nobody will ever fight 37 times. I thought it was 44, but it says 37. I had read somewhere else that he fought 44 times that year, but 37, 44, whichever one it was, it's definitely the record. Unbreakable record. Okay? And he won 34 of those fights, officially or unofficially. So some of them were newspaper decisions. Right, but he did fight 37 times. Okay, 134 officially or unofficially. Now, among his defeated opponents that year were the reigning light heavyweight champion, battling Levinsky, again in a non-title fight. They wouldn't put their title up against her. Former light heavyweight champion, battling Levinsky. Wait a minute now. Reigning light heavyweight champion battling Levinsky in the non. Former light heavyweight champion was Jack Dillon. He beat middleweight George Chip again. Well, he lost the Chip before. He fought him like 4 times. This time he won that one. And heavyweight Willie Meehan, who had beaten future heavyweight champion Jack Dempsey earlier in that same year. So he beat the guy that had beat Jack Dempsey. Jack Dempsey wasn't champion yet. But this guy, Willie Meehan, beat him, and Greb came along and beat him, and they were heavyweights. And Greb around that time was fighting like middleweight or something, right? But like I said earlier, he was fighting light heavyweights and heavyweights and beating them. Yeah, beating them. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. And so now, despite all these results, these wins and against these heavyweights and everybody, Greb was still denied a chance to fight for a title. Nobody would fight him. He wasn't avoided, but when the champions fought him, they wouldn't put the title on the line. So I guess that's just like being avoided, right? Yeah. And a February 1918 newspaper draw against Mike O'Dowd, who would go on to win the middleweight title during that same year, and the newspaper lost to Billy Miss, did not help in his effort to get a title shot. They had a draw and a loss. Really, they were no decisions, but the newspaper people called it a draw and a loss. So those other fighters, they was official to them. You had a draw in the newspaper decision, so I don't have to put my belt up against you. Any excuse. Greb was a bad man. They didn't want to fight him. Now, Greb would win his first 52 fights in a row. Went 52-0. During that stretch, he beat future light heavyweight champion Mike Mateague, heavyweight contenders Billy Miss, Mike Gibbons, Bill Brennan, Jeff Smith, and Leo Hawk 3 times each, and battling Levinsky no less than 4 times during that stretch. 6 times altogether, a couple times after that. In newspaper decisions, Levinsky was the reigning light heavyweight champion at the time, but he fought it 4 times, and all 4 times were non-title fights. Levinsky wasn't no fool. He wasn't putting his title up against Harry. He wanted to keep it. But he did get a title shot eventually. Now, let's talk about his vision problem. In 1921, during a fight with light heavyweight Kid Norfolk, okay? There's him and Kid Norfolk right there. Let me come down some. Him and Kid Norfolk, right? There's Kid Norfolk on the right. That's Harry on the left, okay? In 1921, during a fight with light heavyweight Kid Norfolk, Harry was thumbed in the right eye, which is believed to have resulted in a retinal tear, right? Now, the injury would eventually lead to permanent blindness. And Greb won by a 10-round newspaper decision and was eligible to fight for the middleweight title. Now, it is commonly believed that Greb completely lost sight in the eye after his 5th fight with Bob Roper, after which it took almost 2 months to recover. He was seen in a hospital with patches over both eyes, but he kept the injury a secret from everyone except for his wife and his closest friends. And he fooled the doctors doing pre-fight physicals by memorizing the order of the letters on the eye chart with the other eye. You know, when they say, say he was blind in his left eye, cover the left eye up. Now, when the physician telling him to read the line, Harry's sitting there memorizing all the lines. So then with his good eye, so he couldn't see nothing out of his left eye, but when the doctor say cover the right eye, he didn't remember the doctor say read line 5. Harry already got it memorized. So that's how he got past the physical examination. He couldn't see shit out of his left eye, but he had already memorized what the line said. Ingenious, you know? Now, yeah, that's how he got past the examinations, right? Now, he would later lose some vision in his left, his right eye was the one day he was blind in. He would later lose vision in his left eye, and his gradual loss of sight led him to always go to bed with the lights on. Yeah. Harry Greb versus Gene Tunney. That was a good one then. Harry Greb versus Gene Tunney. I think that's Gene on the right with the marine haircut. Now, Gene didn't always wear his hair like that, but I know that's Harry on the right. See, you can tell. Because that's Harry on the left right there. Hey, I got it mixed up. That's Harry on the left. So in this picture, that's Harry on the left again, right? Same guy, right? Left and left. I don't know what Gene Tunney was doing with that haircut. Damn. But that's him. Greb versus Tunney. Okay? BN Boxing News. What's happening? Appreciate you, BN Boxing News. Salute. Okay, where were we? Oh, Greb versus Tunney. BN Boxing News in the building. BN Boxing News probably gonna do a post-fight on that big fight we got tomorrow. Ball and Maturbiev. Yeah, I'm gonna try to catch that one. I know he's gonna do one on that big fight. Yeah, he does some excellent post-fight analysis. Yeah, and this big one tomorrow. Yeah. Now, Greb versus Tunney on May 23rd, immediately after the fight. So if you ain't doing nothing, if he's on, catch him. You won't regret it. Greb versus Tunney on May 23rd, 1922. Harry Greb was matched with Gene Tunney, the undefeated American light heavyweight champion. Let me get my glasses. Boy, I got them, but I don't know where they at. There they go. Oh, much 100% better. Now, he was matched against Gene Tunney, American light heavyweight champion. In the first round, Greb immediately fractured Tunney's nose in 2 places in the first round, and then proceeded to open a deep gash over his left eye. Now, according to eyewitness reports, Greb was subsequently forced to intermittently commission the referee to wipe off his blood-stained gloves with a towel. And throughout the fight, Greb would repeatedly petition the referee to stop the fight, while a determined Tunney concurrently implored him to allow the contest to continue. Now, round after round, the beating continued, with Tunney refusing to submit and smiling during the bloodshed to keep the referee from halting the match. Yeah, I thought Greb fractured Tunney's nose. Yeah. But anyway, he continued to smile round after round, with Tunney refusing to submit and smiling during the bloodshed to keep the referee from halting the match. Oh, yeah, Tunney was doing all the bleeding. Now, at the end of 15 rounds, Greb was crowned champion unanimously, so he finally got his title shot. It wasn't the title. This was the first and only professional loss in Tunney's career, with the fight being hailed as the fight of the year for 1922 by the Ring magazine. Now, just like Rocky, Gene Tunney never lost at heavyweight, but he had the loss in this fight right here at light heavyweight. So that's why he didn't go down as Rocky as the only undefeated heavyweight champion. He was undefeated at heavyweight, but he had a loss at light heavyweight. So, yeah. But it was the fight of the year for 1922. And that's history because that was the first ever fight of the year, because Ring magazine came into existence that year. That was the first ever fight of the year. Harry Greb beat Gene Tunney. Yeah. And for whatever reason, they didn't start naming Fighter of the Year until 1928. They had been in existence 6 years, but they started Fight of the Year immediately, and that was it. Yeah. After defending his title against Tommy Loughran, Greb granted Tunney a rematch. In a hotly disputed battle at Madison Square Garden in February of 1923, Tunney regained his title by a highly controversial split decision. Multiple eyewitness reports state that Greb controlled the fight and battered Tunney, again, just like the first time, cutting and rocking him from punches on more than one occasion. But Tunney fought back, unlike in the first encounter, and at some points was competitive with Greb. And when Tunney was announced the winner, the crowd booed heavily. Okay? Now, Greb and Tunney would meet 3 more times, with Tunney successfully defending his regained title in another 15 rounds, and then fighting to a no decision newspaper draw, wherein most newspapers reported Greb the winner. Now, referee Matt Hinkle stated he would have ruled a draw, so the record books have it that way. And the 5th battle was reminiscent of the first fight in this series, except this time it was Tunney doing the bludgeoning, right? And he bludgeoned Greb for the duration of the fight. According to Tunney, near the end of the match, while the 2 fighters were locked in a clinch, Greb straightforwardly asked Tunney not to knock him out. Tunney reputedly consented to this request and later acknowledged the incident as the highest tribute he received in his career, stating, "He was one of the greatest fighters of all time, laying down his shield, admitting defeat, and knowing I would not expose him." So in that series, Tunney won 3, Greb won 1, and they had 1 draw of their 5 fights. Yep. 3-1-1 for Tunney. Okay. Now, Tunney would go on to beat Jack Dempsey for the heavyweight title. And Greb remained the only man ever to have beaten Tunney. And Tunney would be among the pallbearers at Greb's funeral. Yeah. So he was fighting light heavyweight and middleweight back and forth in both of them. So let's look at when he got his middleweight championship. Okay. Middleweight championship. Okay. That's I think that's is it Jack Wilson? We'll find out. 1 month after losing his light heavyweight title to Tunney, Greb set his sights on middleweight champion Johnny Wilson. Yeah, that's Johnny Wilson and Greb. Johnny Wilson on the left, Greb on the right. Okay. He set his sights on middleweight champion Johnny Wilson. But when Wilson's manager, Marty Kalalea, refused to offer him the fight, Greb paid a few speakeasy servers in Pittsburgh and New York to serve him water in colored tumblers and then feigned intoxication in a highly theatrical spectacle. And when Wilson's manager witnessed one of these performances, he assumed Greb was ripe for the picking and arranged for the fight to take place. Made the man think he was a drunk or something, and then they agreed to fight him. Wow. On August 31st, 1923, Greb faced Wilson for the world middleweight title, winning a 15-round decision. Excuse me. When referee Jack O'Sullivan stepped in to separate the fighters during a rough clinch, he asked Greb what he thought he was doing. Greb responded, "Gouging Johnny in the eye. Can't you see?" They said he was a dirty fighter, remember? They said Greb was a dirty fighter. Sometimes. Now, Greb would grant Wilson a rematch on January 18th, 1924 at Madison Square Garden, winning another 15-round decision. Greb versus Walker, the toy bulldog, Mickey Walker. That's what they called him. There you go. That's Mickey Walker on the left, Greb on the right. The Pittsburgh Windmill versus the toy bulldog. Greb versus Walker. Now, Greb's most notable defense of the title was against the reigning world welterweight champion, Mickey Walker, in July 1925 at the Polo Grounds in New York. Most pundits and even Walker believed Greb would have trouble making a 160-pound weight limit. Still, when it was reported that Greb weighed in at 157.5 pounds, he was inserted as a 9-5 odds favorite. Now, during the first few rounds of the fight, Walker came out attacking Greb to the body as the defending champion tried to stave off cramps in both his legs. The middle round saw Greb starting to relax and control the pace of the fight, while Walker could still land some eye-catching combinations. Now, Greb took control during the championship rounds, and Greb was awarded a unanimous decision by the judges and retained his championship. Walker, who would win the middleweight title the following year, relayed years later a tale that he stumbled upon Greb at a nightclub after their fight, and according to the legend, the two fought an impromptu rematch in the nightclub. According to some reports, Greb easily won the spontaneous rematch in the club, while the general consensus is that Walker landed a sucker punch on Greb that knocked him out cold. Yeah, I heard that. The version I heard was Walker snuck him and knocked him out cold. I didn't even hear that they didn't even fight. I just heard Walker walked up to him and snuck him and knocked him out. Now, according to Walker himself, the two were sitting down discussing their fight over a drink when Walker commented that he felt that if it had not been for Greb thumbing him in the eye, he would have won the fight. The heavily intoxicated Greb took great offense to this and jumped to his feet to fight. The two fought and ended up outside where several friends of each separated the men. So by that version, there was no knockout. Okay. Later career. Well, let's take a break because I never did tell y'all about these fantastic prizes. It's only one more day. So y'all better get on the stick, as they say, and get some of these prizes. Because they're gonna be gone. Oh, there you go. So let's let Dre tell y'all about them. We're gonna take a quick break. Okay. Let me see. Oh. Okay. Take that off.
To you by the JBT. Our first item is a new 10th generation iPad. with a liquid retina display which shows off beautiful color and has plenty of power for all your handheld computing needs. Great for work, play, or just movies on the go. How much is it to enter, you ask? Just $10. Or you can catch the deal with 3 entries for just $25. It's easy to enter. Just cash app your entries to $JBT Network 1. That's $JBT Network 1. Our second item is a set of Kenichi Bear Bluetooth noise canceling headphones. Great for gaming, movies, or travel. As the second prize in this great raffle. Our third item is a Ninja brand air fryer. Great for all your air frying needs. Cooking healthy with the JBT. So send your entries via Cash App to JBT Network 1. That's JBT Network 1. $10 each or 3 for $25. Put raffle on the comment line and you are entered.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what happened. What was the last fight I did? Him and Mickey Walker, right? It is him and Mickey Walker right there. Okay, later life, that's where we are. Okay. His career is getting ready to end. Okay. Excuse me. Later career. Just Do Boxing in the building. What's up, Just Do? Coming up at 4 p.m. Just Do Boxing. We're going to go on over there and get some fire, unbiased boxing talk, balanced. Everybody gets to Just Do over there, Just Do Boxing. Okay. Later career. At 32 years old, a waning Greb was years past his best when he was matched with tricky southpaw Tiger Flowers. Yeah, that's a rough fight there with Tiger. It is Tiger. What, him and Tiger? Yeah, Greb on the left, Tiger on the right. Yeah, he was kind of older when he was matched with tricky southpaw Tiger Flowers, who was 31 at the time, only a year younger though. This was at Madison Square Garden, February 1926. Flowers was a defensive specialist. He countered Greb's attacks well and won a disputed decision after 15 rounds to annex Greb's middleweight title. And by that time, the no decision era was over. It was down to 15 rounds, 3-minute time limit, and had judges and everything by this time, 1926. Yeah. So Flowers won a disputed decision after 15 rounds, okay? And he took the middleweight title from Greb. Flowers beat Greb again in the rematch 6 months later on an even more controversial decision. The fans stormed the ring to protest the outcome. Wow. Greb later stated, well, that was some fight. I won if I ever won any fight. The fight could be the last of my career. Okay, and it was. Let's look at his personal life. Yeah. Harry Greb married Mildred Catherine Rowley on January 19th, 1919 in Epiphany Church. They had one child. Yeah, they had one child. Retirement and his death. Okay. Greb retired following the second Flowers loss. Yeah, after the rematch, he retired after that one. Retired after the second Flowers loss. Oh, I hope I didn't block nobody. Ray Patterson in the building, straight out of New Jersey. What's up, RP? We winding down on the Harry Greb profile today. It's Friday. Big, huge week, too. The big light heavyweight showdown and the JBT raffle. Both on the same weekend, man. That is Huge, humongous, large weekend. You got your tickets, everybody? This is it. Don't wait on them all to get them, because you might go to get that ticket and they say somebody didn't want it. Now, Greb retired following the second flowers loss and relayed to a friend that he planned on opening a gym in downtown Pittsburgh, his hometown. Yeah. In September 1926, his right eye was removed and replaced with a glass prosthesis. Having declined a job as Jack Dempsey's sparring partner in preparation for Dempsey Tunney, Greb declared, "I feel like a burglar taking Jack's money. Nobody can get him in good enough condition to whip Gene." Yeah, Greb knew. Greb had fought Gene 5 times. He knew what he was talking about. Tunney 5 times, because Tunney beat Dempsey twice. Yeah. If anybody would know, it would be Greb, because he fought him 5 times. And he was right. Tunney beat Jack Dempsey both times they fought. He said nobody can get Jack ready for Gene Tunney. Now, Greb checked into an Atlantic City clinic for surgery to repair damage to his nose and respiratory tract caused by his ring career and several car crashes. But complications occurred and he died of heart failure on October 22nd, 1926 at 2:30 p.m. Wow, complications from that surgery. Greb was buried at Calvary Cemetery in his hometown of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Let's take a look at Harry's legacy. Okay? Legacy. And we're going to go over some other big-time fighters from Harry's era, that some of these names we talked about, we're going to take a look at some of their careers in a minute. But Greb was willing to box African-American fighters, including Jack Blackburn, Kid Norfolk, and Tiger Flowers, in an era when many white boxers refused to do so. Greb was one of the white fighters that was willing to face the black fighters. Now, Greb faced 16 Hall of Famers, more than any other boxer. Greb fought them 48 times during his career, going 32 wins, 11 losses, and 5 draws against him, who would later be inducted into the Hall of Fame, against fighters who would later be inducted into the Hall of Fame. These Hall of Famers included Jack Blackburn, who was admitted as a trainer, not a fighter, because he trained Joe Louis. Jack Blackburn went in the Hall as a trainer. In 1919 alone, he fought 45 times in 1919. He fought 37 in 1917, remember? 45 times in 1919, went 45-0, okay? A rare achievement that is unlikely to be repeated by contemporary boxers due to changes in the sport. Not unlikely, it will not be repeated. Never. Nobody's even gonna fight 45 times in a year anymore. Greb was enshrined in the Ring Magazine Hall of Fame in 1955, the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame in 1970, the World Boxing Hall of Fame in 1980, and the International Boxing Hall of Fame in the first class in 1990, into that old timers category I'm always telling you about. Greb is ranked by BoxRec as the 5th greatest fighter of all time. Greb was named the 2nd greatest fighter of the last 80 years by the Ring Magazine, the 5th greatest fighter of all time by historian Bert Sugar, the 4th greatest fighter of all time by historian and boxing commentator Max Kellerman, and ranked as the number 1 middleweight, the number 3 light heavyweight, and the number 2 pound-for-pound fighter of all time by the International Boxing Research Organization in 2006. And Cash Sports The Boxtorian ranks him the number 3 middleweight of all time and number 12 all-time pound-for-pound. Okay, that's a big one there. You know, Bert Sugar, Ring Magazine, Cash Sports is a big, you know, and they all probably base their rankings on that one, if you really want to think about it. But anyway, yeah, there you have it. Harry Greb, legendary Hall of Famer, welterweight, middleweight, light heavyweight, heavyweight. We didn't have the juniors and supers then. You went from featherweight, lightweight, welterweight, middleweight on up. Light heavyweight, heavyweight. So it was a wide range in between weight classes. So going from weight classes back then was really a big accomplishment because you had a lot of pounds. You didn't have those juniors. You couldn't just go up 3 or 4 pounds and be in another weight class. No. Like Henry Armstrong, he was featherweight, lightweight, and welterweight champion at the same time. 21 pounds between featherweight and welterweight, but he was jumping up and down fighting in both weight classes, defending his titles. He did that. Let's look at some other fighters that fought around that period. Some names you heard in here. Okay, guess we got some time. Okay, and don't forget to get your ticket for the big raffle tomorrow. Going to be 3 winners will be announced tomorrow. Dopo domani. That's Italian for tomorrow. I spent 18 months in Italy, and I learned 2 Italian words. No, 3. Ciao. Dopo domani and ciao. Okay, I learned 3 Italian words. Now, let's talk about where's it at? I wrote this late at night. I'm gonna be able to read this handwriting. This is like chicken scratch. Damn. Wow, like a 3-year-old child wrote this. Damn, guys, you should be ashamed of yourself. First is Kid Norfolk. That's Kid Norfolk. Now, Kid Norfolk fought as a light heavyweight and heavyweight from 1910 through 1926, holding wins over many notable boxers of his day, including Joe Jeanette, Billy Miss, Jack Blackburn, Harry Greb, who we just got finished talking about. We talked about that fight, remember? Tiger Flowers, Battling Sickey, and Gunboat Smith. He beat old Gunboat. Beat old Gunboat. That's I like that name there, Gunboat Smith. Kid Norfolk was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 2007. And he had a total of 151 fights during his career. He won 115, lost 28. He had 8 losses, 48 knockouts. Kid Norfolk. That's my pen. I got to that okay. Man, I dropped my pen. I'll get it after the show. I don't need it anymore. This cast always gotta go come find stuff. I don't need it. Okay, next boxer back from around it, Gene Tunney. Let's talk about Gene. We did a profile on Gene one time. Gene is kind of like, it's my worst picture of the day there. Gene fought way back then. It's hard to find good pictures of them guys, man. That's Gene Tunney, trust me. Gene Tunney. He competed from 1915 to 1928. Gene Tunney did. Okay. He held the world heavyweight title from 1926 to 1928, and the American light heavyweight title twice between 1922 and 1923. A highly technical boxer, Tunney had a 5-fight light heavyweight rivalry with Harry Greb, in which he won 3, lost once, and had 1 draw. Remember? We talked about that. So many ringside reporters believed that Greb should have won the decision in their second meeting. Tunney also knocked out George Carpenter and defeated Jack Dempsey twice. First in 1926 and again in 1927. Tunney's successful title defense against Dempsey remains one of the most famous fights in boxing history and is known as the long count fight. We just talked about that the other day, remember? The long count, Dempsey wouldn't go to the neutral corner because that was the first fight where they started using the neutral corner, and he was confused. Usually you knock somebody down, the referee start counting, you standing right there looking. That fight was when they started sending the fighters to the neutral corner. And people say Jack was trying to get Gene more time. He threw the fight, but I think he was just confused because he never had to go to the neutral corner before, right? So why couldn't the man just be confused? I don't think he was giving Tunney more time. Yeah. First time they ever had to do that. But that was the long count fight, the famous long count fight. Okay. Now, Tunney retired undefeated at heavyweight, but he had that one loss to Harry Greb at light heavyweight. And Tunney's victory over Tom Heaney in 1928, that was his last fight. And he was named Fighter of the Year by the Ring magazine for that year. And he had 88 total fights. He won 82, had that one loss, remember, 4 draws, 1 no contest, 49 knockouts. Gene Tunney. Yeah. Okay. And then we had Johnny Wilson. These are most of the guys that I talked about the fight, and it is Johnny Wilson. Johnny Wilson competed from 1911 to 1926. The highlight of Wilson's career came when he captured the World Middleweight Championship by defeating Mike O'Dowd by decision over 12 rounds on May 6, 1920. That was right around the beginning of when the no decision era ended. That was probably one of the first fights after the no decision era ended. Yeah. Now Wilson held the crown until he was outpointed over 15 rounds by the all-time great, guess who? Harry Greb. Remember we talked about that. He took Wilson's title. Yeah, that was his first title, by the way. Remember? Now Wilson had 100 fights on the dot. He won 62. He lost 29. He had 8 draws, 1 no contest, and won 29 by the knockout route. Okay, that was Johnny Wilson. Got a couple more. Mickey the Toy Bulldog Walker. There he is. That was his nickname, the Toy Bulldog. There he is. Look like a bulldog, though. Damn sure it is. His mouth and nose look like a snout. Yeah. Nickname fits him. Wait a minute now. Yeah, Mickey Walker, that's where we at. I'm looking right at it. Now, Mickey Walker held both the world welterweight and world middleweight championships at different points in his career. Born in Elizabeth, New Jersey, he was also an avid golfer, right? And he would later be recognized as a renowned artist, right? Versatile guy, boxer, golfer, artist. Wow. Toy Bulldog. Walker is widely considered one of the greatest fighters ever, with ESPN ranking him 17th on their list of the 50 greatest boxers of all time. ESPN got him 17. And boxing historian Bert Sugar placed him 11 in his top 100 fighters catalog. Statistical website BoxRec rates Walker as the 6th best to have ended his career at middleweight, while the Ring magazine founder Nat Fleischer placed him at number 4 among greatest middleweights of all time. The International Boxing Research Organization ranked Walker as the number 4 middleweight and the number 16 pound-for-pound fighter of all time. Cash Sports The Boxtorian ranks Walker in the top 25 pound-for-pound of all time. Got to get Cash Sports ranking. That's one of the top things out here, Ring Magazine and Bert Sugar and all of them. Cash Sports put him in the top 25. Now, Walker was inducted into the Ring Magazine Hall of Fame in 1957 and the International Boxing Hall of Fame in the inaugural class, the old timers category, 1990. And he had 164 total fights during his career. He won 131, lost 25. He had 6 draws, 2 no contests, 60 knockouts. It's got a couple more. Tiger Flowers. There's Tiger. There's Tiger. Al Booger in the building. What's up, AB? AB says, I lost my pen. The toy bulldog. What the hell? That was his name. He looked kind of like a bulldog, AB. Let me show him to you. Did you see it? There he is right there. He has nose and mouth come down like a snout. Yeah. Look at the middle of his face. He looked kind of like a bulldog. And he was a smallish guy. So, that's where they got that from, the toy bulldog. Yeah. But I like Gunboat Smith. Now, that's a nickname for you there. Gunboat Smith. Greb fought him. I'm going to pull up Gunboat for y'all. Gunboat for y'all, too. We got that. I'm trying to find my ink pen now. Man, I heard it hit this now. Oh, there it is. I got to write down Al Booker's name. Okay. Yeah, that's him. The toy bulldog. Mickey Walker. I'm going to find Gunboat for y'all, too. Gunboat Smith. My favorite 2 nicknames are, though, what do they call Alexis Aguayo, the incredible, something kind of thin man. I can't remember now. And Benny Leonard, the ghetto wizard. The ghetto wizard, Benny Leonard, and Alexis Aguayo was the incredible thin man or something. Those are my favorite 2. Gunboat ain't bad neither. I got to find out what they call Alexis Aguayo. You know me, I have to know when I get on a hunt like that. And we got Google. Back in the old days, you might have to wait weeks to figure out what it was. But now, fast as you can type. Alexis Aguayo, there he is. Incredible thin man or something like that. It was a nice nickname. Oh, the explosive thin man. El Flaco Explosivo. The explosive thin man. Yeah, that's it. I like that one. And Benny Leonard, the ghetto wizard. Those are my favorite 2. Yeah. And Al Booker said, what the hell? The toy bulldog. Yeah. How about Gunboat Smith, Al Booker? You like that one? Gunboat Smith. Yeah. He was a fighter. He fought Harry Greb. Our subject of today. Okay. Now, yeah, who is that right there, though? That's he's after the toy bulldog. That's Tiger Flowers right there. How can I forget Tiger? We just got a couple more. I'm just going over some guys since we ran a little short that Greb fought against during his career. That's Tiger Flowers. That was Greb's last fight. Last 2, as a matter of fact. He fought Tiger. He lost his title to Tiger, his middleweight title. Tiger gave him a rematch. Both of them were controversial decisions. So after the second one, Greb retired. That was his last 2 fights against Tiger Flowers right there. Now, Tiger was nicknamed the Georgia Deacon. Ain't a bad one, the Georgia Deacon. Now, he rose to prominence in the early 20th century, becoming the first African-American world middleweight boxing champion. After defeating Harry Greb. Just talked about that. To claim the middleweight title. I didn't know that. Yeah. The first African-American middleweight title. That was in 1926. Now, the first African-American champion was Joe Gans. But the first black boxing champion was George Dixon, but he was Canadian. He was the first black champion in anything, any kind of sport. Baseball, hockey, volleyball, kickball, soccer, anything. George Dixon, but he was Canadian. First African-American boxing champion was Joe Gans, around 1908, something like that. But the first middleweight was man right there, Tiger Flowers. 1926, he beat Harry Greb. And Tiger was inducted into the Ring Hall of Fame in 1971, the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame in 1976, the World Boxing Hall of Fame in 1990, and the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 1993. He was a left-handed fighter. Flowers was fast and elusive, usually avoiding heavy punishment while landing quick, sharp blows. And he had a total of 160 fights in his career. He won 135, lost 17, had 8 draws, and he had 55 knockouts. Tiger Flowers. Yep. And then Tommy Gibbons. Yeah, all these are guys Harry fought against. He fought Tommy Gibbons. There's Tommy. He had a brother named Mike Gibbons, one of the Gibbons brothers. Yeah. Now, Tommy Gibbons started boxing professionally in 1911, excuse me, as a middleweight, like his brother Mike. He was a master scientific boxer who chose to outbox his opponents. In time, he advanced to the heavyweight boxing class and developed a respectable punch. Wow. He went from middleweight to heavyweight. A lot of guys did that back in the old days, so yeah. And he won 96. He won 96, lost 5, had 4 draws, won no contest. Like 106 fights, yeah. Yeah, 106 total. 48 knockouts. Tommy Gibbons, this is the last one. Talked about him. George Chip. Yeah, George Chip. There's George. Big weekend. The big light heavyweight showdown between Bivol and Beterbiev, whatever his name. You know what I'm talking about. Archie. Beterbiev, you know. And Bivol. And also this weekend, the JBT drawing. We'll find out tomorrow who wins, and I would say by like the middle of next Wednesday, you should have your prizes. Okay, you should have your prizes by next Wednesday. Thomas Hill in the building. What's up, T Hill? How you doing today? Good to see you. Yeah, we winding down on the Harry Greb. I'm just going over a couple guys he fought. You know, this is the last one, George Chip. Oh man, I done dropped everything. All my notebook, my notes, everything. Okay. It landed right on the page I was on though. Yep, George Chip. Oh no, that's not George. I didn't even change the picture. That's Tommy Gibbons. I didn't change it from Tiger. And that's George Chip. You see, you can see George was way back there. Because, you know, like I told you before, sometimes doing fights, they didn't have a photographer, right? They would have an artist actually there drawing the action. No photographer, they would have an artist at the fight drawing the action. That's how we got a lot of our pictures from that era, from artists drawing the action in the ring. Yeah. George Chip was a Lithuanian American boxer who was the world middleweight champion from 1913 to 1914 in an era of great middleweights. Not as bad as those 50s though. 50s was the baddest of them all. Now Chip came to be known as a heavy puncher with an impressive knockout ratio. In his time, he was known as the Madison Miner and the Newcastle Miner. He was the father of Major General William C. Chip, United States Marine Corps. Wow. His son was a Major General. He did have a nice knockout rate too. He had 163 fights, right? No, he didn't. 67. I don't know how I got that. That's way off. Man. I tell you, he had I don't know where I got that from. He had 63. I put that one on there by accident. 63 fights. Oh, come back, calculator. I'm gonna need you again. He won 40, lost 17, had 5 draws, won no contest, 36 knockouts. Remember they was talking about his knockout rate? That is excellent there. 40 wins, 36 knockouts. That's 90% on the dot. Yeah. Yeah. And there you have it. The life and career of not George Chip, Harry Greb. Harry Greb. I'm gonna put the link in the chat right now. We got Just Do Boxing coming up in about 30 minutes. Yeah, about 30. And I guess he's gonna put you down with talk about the big fight tomorrow, probably. Look and see what Just Do got on the menu, but it's something good. You can bet the farm on that. There's something very good going on over there today, and we're gonna find out in about 30 minutes. I ain't gonna tell you today. It's gonna be a surprise. Get over there and find out in 30 minutes. It's gonna be balanced. It's gonna be unbiased. Everybody gonna get the Just Do, whoever you talk about, whatever you talk about, right? But man, I can't get over how big this weekend is. The light heavyweight showdown. We going for the first ever 4-belt undisputed, and the big JBT raffle. A weekend can't get no bigger than that, man. Can't get no bigger than that. And this is the last day to get your tickets. You can take a chance on getting it tomorrow, but I wouldn't, because, you know, they might be gone. I mean, the winner might be announced by the time you get your ticket. You know, small potatoes people like me don't know what time it's going to be. You know, the big wigs like Remo and Melanin Queen, they know, they can tell you what time the joint is going to be. I don't know. I know it's tomorrow. I know somebody will have a new Apple 10th generation iPad tomorrow. Well, not, you won't get it tomorrow, but you'll know. And Kaniki Bear headphones and a Ninja air fryer. You'll probably get it about next Wednesday. Okay? By the middle of the week. Because I know D1 got his, Jordan was done on a Sunday last time, and D1 got his that Wednesday. I was surprised he sent the picture looking at it. And I'm like, damn, he got that already? Yeah. So I'll say you'll get it by next Wednesday. You should have it. I told you the situation with the headphones. They might get lost in the mail. I don't have them. I just might have a pair that looks like them. Especially if Big Dre wins. He said I could hold them for 2 months. Is Big Dre in here? He said I could hold him for 2 months if he wins. Yeah. Isn't that nice of Big Dre? I don't even think he in here. And I'm messing with him. But I'm putting the link in there. But yeah, very big, huge weekend. But you know who won't win it? Like we all been telling you. If you don't have a ticket, you ain't even got to worry about it. You got to play to win, man. Just $10 or $25 for 3, and get all 3 prizes. Get all 3 of them. But then if somebody win all 3, I'll just send the iPad and the air fryer first, and a couple months later send it. Now let me stop. Like I said, the headphones really get lost in the mail, they're gonna swear I got them, so I better stop playing around. But it's tomorrow. Whatever happens, you will know who won tomorrow. Okay? And by the middle of next week, you should have all 3 of your prizes. Whatever 3 people wins should have them by next Wednesday. Okay? And then we're on to the next. And we got the big fight. The big light heavy. This will be the first ever 4-belt undisputed. Michael Spinks was 2-belt, I believe. WBA in the I ain't gonna miss you today, T.M. I ain't gonna let you sit back there 15 minutes today. See?
You just had me on timeout. I'm not mad at that. Sometimes I get out of line.
I don't think you was back there 15 minutes the other day. I ain't missed you that long, did I? But what's happening? How are you today, man?
Hey, man, I'm here. I'm alive. I cannot complain.
The main thing.
I'm saying, got to listen to some good history from boxing, and on top of that,
yeah, Greb was the man back then. Very Greb, yes.
It's another good day, man. I don't know. I just think that, today is the day before a huge fight. And it seems that in this fight, the fight that we crave other fighters to give, we've not done as much talking about it
No.
as we've done about Devin, Ryan,
Yeah. Nope.
T.O., Bud, Earl Spence, Fondora, and Mickey Fricky,
This is
Ryan Garcia. Like, how are we talking about these people?
This is one of the biggest fights in boxing right here, man.
And we got the fight that we want.
Yeah.
We put stuff on other, and this is another thing that baffles my mind. And you know, a lot of people, and I hope people are listening to, a lot of people accuse us at the JBT of being like Tank loyalists.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this as a boxing fan. If your family, in your family or in your circle of friends, I'll say that there are people that do the same thing, but only one of them is getting singled out. Are you not gonna defend the person that's getting singled out is doing the very same thing that everybody else is doing, or look at it from the opposite end and say everybody else ain't getting the same type of flack as your friend is getting? Yeah. What the heck is going on with this, man? Like, we need to do better, man. We need to hold everybody to the same standard. In boxing, that's what I call for. That's why I say that. And the judges should have their scorecards elevated on the screens, on the monitors, so people could see them score in live time.
They should be able to be interviewed at the fights too.
Yeah, they should be responsible to give an account for why they saw the fight a certain way. I agree with that. I also believe they should be elevated or situated in press row instead of at that floor level looking up. Because them angles aren't the very best of angles, especially if you're looking up. And I believe that there should be also alternate judges. If not, then the referee should also be a legal judge that can help determine whether or not a card seems fraudulent. Now, if there's two cards, we might need extra judges on hand, because the people who do fraudulent scorecards, they need to be penalized. They need to be suspended. And whatever should happen to a fighter should be able to happen to everybody that's in that ring or responsible for what the outcome of that ring is. So the umpire or referee, I'm sorry, and the judges need to fall in line too. And then the commission as well, because if the commission allows something, because you know, bottom line, they get the results of them things before them fights to take place. They allow something, it's on them. So with that being said, I think that also supplementation needs to be the same worldwide. If you're in an area and they feed something like this, then you better stay away from something like that, because it's gonna go bad for you, and it's not accepted anywhere else. Then hey, you can't have that. You gotta find something else. Also, the last thing, man, the weight class and the gloves, bro. The weight class, you need to fight in and around your weight class. You shouldn't be scaling down on 30 damn pounds to fight somebody. That's just damn dangerous. And they need to get on that too, because they are allowing these people to kill themselves slowly to try to compete in a fight. So same day weigh-ins need to come back. Also, they need to start taking those gloves that they select and then having the commission hold them so nobody can tamper with gloves.
Right.
They can't put and glove up in the ring. Bring the gloves and the cases to the ring and glove up in the ring like they used to do. And, you know, we need to start getting that corruption up out of there.
Put them on in there. They take them off in the ring, right? After the fight. So
exactly.
Everything's right there in the ring.
Well, there's some fighters who don't have to take them off in the ring. There's been a couple of fighters that went straight to the back. Yeah, they're supposed to, but yeah, they're supposed to, but they allowed a couple of fighters to go straight to the back with their gloves on.
Bud didn't do it after the Earl fight, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think he did he? One of those, I think.
Nah, he didn't come out. He went straight to the back with them gloves.
Yeah, I thought he did. Yeah.
So we need to hold everything as a standard and keep to it.
Yeah, that's the problem. All these people are not held accountable, so they do what they want to do because they know they're not going to have to answer for it. You know.
And I think one other thing that I would change too, I seriously would consider making championship fights between champions of other sanctioning bodies mandatory as well too. Like that should trump a mandatory. Like, so if we're trying to get a fight, and my man Canelo, I just use Canelo because everybody talks about Canelo, and Benavidez is a champion, but he's not trying to fight him. And the person that they're trying to fight that's ordered on the next mandatory list is not something that's like a bigger draw. They need to make the bigger fight so that they can get in the habit of making bigger fights.
And those things ain't hard to do, man. You know. There's what's up, old school? We have old school rant in the building. But you know, the one that we always talk about, T Hill, is the one I think should be first thing they do is give those scores after every round, man. Don't wait till the end of the fight. That would make it harder to cheat. You know? Because you know they take a lot of time after the fight, changing the cards and stuff. Give them after every round. You know? Then you can't cheat them because it's already recorded. So how can you say, you know, through 9 rounds, you had it like 63, then all of a sudden, you're going to say the other guy won 75 after 12. You already turned your cards and you can't switch up then, you know. That would keep it a little bit more accurate. And these things are all easy to do, but they don't want to make it any better. They want to keep it just like it is. Are you on mute? Oh, you got a call. The T.O. froze up on me. Yeah, they want to keep it just like it is. He was cooking too. Okay. Yeah, they want the nonsense. The more confusion, the best. I think the judges, the referees, all should go back to that press room after the fight and be interviewed too. You know, like that perfect example, Maxie Hughes and Lomachenko fight. They needed to interview all 3 of those judges. See just how the hell they came up with George Kambosos winning the fight when they only won about 2 rounds. I looked at it like 3 or 4 times trying to find rounds to give Kambosos. I still could only find 2. And I was looking for rounds to give him. But the judges had him winning the fight, man. So yeah, they needed to be held accountable and asked about that. Why? Exactly what rounds did you give Kambosos? Because Maxie Hughes had him confused, backing up, missing. Kambosos looked bad. If they wanted Kambosos and Lomachenko, it wouldn't have made any difference. Lomachenko would have beat either one of them, but they wanted Kambosos and Lomachenko. They pretty much had made that fight before he fought Maxie Hughes. But Kambosos dropped the ball. You can't plan no fight ahead with a C-level fighter like Kambosos, you know? You can't do it. And yeah, for the thing, the JBT does, it is the Devontae Davis leaning organization, you know, just keeping it 100. But, you know, but Tank does get the hate too, though, because why come Lomachenko ain't getting no hate? Everybody was talking about Tank was ducking him, but then when they want to make the fight, the biggest payday of his career, first he's not in the mood, now he's retiring. But Water here to Tim Bradley and his boys, ain't none of them saying nothing about Lomachenko. What about their boy? The biggest payday of his career, their Tank payday, the stimulus check. He finally getting the stimulus check, but instead he's going to retire. But, no negative words to say about Loma. I don't even think he belongs in. He has a Hall of Fame worthy resume, like Crush was saying this morning. But he's going to be in there, you know that. First ballot, but I don't even think he belongs in the Hall of Fame. Who is he for? Who's on Loma's resume? Hall of Fame worthy. Is any Hall of Famers on it? But yeah, that's just the double standard. Tim Bradley has not liked Tank ever since Tank said he didn't belong in the Hall of Fame. Remember that? Somebody was telling Tank somewhere that Tim Bradley, when Tim Bradley first made it, Tank was like, what? He don't belong in no Hall of Fame. Ever since then, Tim Bradley been hating on him. You know. But yeah, the JBT is a Tank-leaning organization. But what's wrong with that? The LDBC is definitely. So why can't we like who we like? Damn it. We like Tank. It is what it is.
I like Tank too. I really do.
We are
I mean,
Tank
but I like Devin. Like I tell these people that like talk this talk. Like I never rooted against Devin. I never rooted against Shakur.
Right.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I generally root for my American fighters, especially my American fighters that are immersed in the struggle of daily life that I'm immersed in, walking around as a melanated person.
Right.
How we get so many things differently imposed against us that are not against many other people who bleed like us, who breathe air like us, who cut like us, who get sick like us. I don't get sick as often as other folks do, but I mean,
I know what
you know, who don't go through the same daily struggles as a person that we do. And just because of the way that we look or where we're from. So with that being the case, I do root for my people like that. But I'm a boxing fan first and foremost.
Yeah.
I know that no person is without a chance to have lost a fight or can lose a fight. It's boxing. Right. You cannot be at your very best one day. One day you might not even be feeling your very best.
And somebody had their best fight. Right.
Exactly. So with that being the case, you know, I'm not a disillusionist. I don't believe that Tank is like impenetrable. But what I do believe is that his skill set is greater or as good as whoever you say in and around his weight class is. The one thing that he does well that most of them don't do is get you to fight a fight that's conducive for you to get knocked down. And he sets that up very well. And not too many people have that ability to do that. And it's not something that's just not luck or stroke of fortune or anything like that. It's something that he is taking from what you're doing and what you're giving him from various foot feints, head feints, glove feints, steps, angles, cuts, jabs, hooks, all these things that he's putting together to see how you respond so he can find you a way.
Right.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead. I'm going to stop talking. I got somebody else up there.
No, Ed just came in.
Oh, no. I wasn't even saying nothing, T-Hell, but I see it's the man himself, Cat Sporting that
What's up, Ed?
Type his head. Chilling, man.
Oh, that's the man, Ant McQueen. Yeah. My man, Ant McQueen. That's looking good. They looking good, boy.
When I grow up, man.
Are we going to have the Subway Series this year? Subway World Series?
Possibly,
man, because I know Yankees definitely.
Yeah,
they look like they're the favorite. No doubt about that. The Dodgers, man, I love the Dodgers, but I don't know if we're going to beat the Padres. And the way that the Mets are swinging the bat right now and they're pitching, you know, it's going to be tough for us to slow them down, man. So, I don't know. I think San Diego don't have very good pitching either. Their pitching is a little better than ours, but they don't have very good pitching. They got bats. So, it's a possibility, man. Like I said, I'm a realist. I hope the Dodgers win there, but I'll tell you, in the last 10 years, the Dodgers could at least have at least 3 World Series that they did not win. They got cheated out of one. They got cheated out of that East.
Which one was that?
I don't understand how they didn't award them the final, the championship after they found out that they was cheating like that.
Oh, the Astros, that one. You talking about the Astros, right?
Yeah, the Astros.
Yeah, they were stealing the signals or something like that, right? Stealing signals.
But even there, man, it was like they did stupid stuff. And I'll get off of it after this. But like, you know, Bellinger is struggling hitting pitches. Tell him not to swing at anything because they didn't strike now.
Well, you went out on the T-Hill.
One time did they throw that man to strike. They had him swinging at golf balls. And then I'd have moved him down in the lineup as well too. But and then the pitching, I wouldn't have put Kershaw in there that second go around after struggling, and I would get him out of the. I'd get him out of the game before in the 6th inning, because that's where his playoff arrows come to fruition.
Yeah.
After the six, it just something clicks in his head. And next thing you know, he's unraveled.
Got the bases
But
loaded. No
it is what it is. We should have been Boston. We should have beat Houston. The year we lost to the Washington Senators, when they won everything, we had 107 victories. No, 111. Off that one, we were the best team. For the past couple of years, we've been the best team getting bounced in the first year.
Yeah, we've been the best in the regular season.
Yeah,
best in the regular season. But you know,
I think it's time for us to really look at Roberts and see if he's really the direction they go. But I digress.
He gets them there, but then he don't get them over the hump when they get to the postseason. You know, he gets them there every year, but I don't know what happens to him in the playoffs. You know.
Well, see, to me, this is the thing, and a lot of people with me, like I happen to love my LA teams. I love the hell out of them, but my LA teams always disappoint. And sometimes, like, I'll put it this way, the Lakers was the number one sports franchise, all of sports. And then they didn't get anything to help Kobe, and we went through a record where we went all the way down to 4. We were number one and by a long shot. Then we just had these years where we were winning single-digit games.
Yeah.
So, like, we were the most winningest sports team in history.
Their management messed them up, man. As far as the picks and all that kind of stuff. They were just making some bad things like.
Yeah. And see, people be like, you spoiled, man. You picked up. No, there are teams who put their teams in a position to compete every year. I want my team to be one of those teams that, hey, we get in there. Even if we don't win, we get in there. We one of the ones that's going to get there. I digress, like I said.
And you're going to talk to the Orioles.
What's up, Ant? Loquacious and ubiquitous Ant McQueen.
Oh, man, I'm chilling. I'm still on cloud 9 from the other night. Still on cloud 9 from the other night, man.
Oh, the Mets?
They were down. Yeah, they were down 1-0 and like what was that? 7th minute?
Oh yeah,
hit a grand slam.
Oh right, yeah.
And it was in the home. That's the first time. It's the first time the Mets have clinched the playoff series at Citi Field. Because before that, they were at Shea Stadium.
Since the 60s?
No. I said at Citi Field.
Oh, at Citi Field. Okay. Yeah, since Shea. Right.
The Mets used to play it. Yeah, they used to play at Shea.
Yeah.
Now they play at Citi
the amazing Mets. I remember the amazing Mets from '69. They beat the Orioles that year. Yeah, they hurt us.
Sir, and the last time they won was '86. Those are the only 2 times they won the World Series. 69 and 86.
Okay. 86. Okay.
Yo, the Mets, they've been around since '62. They only got 11 playoff appearances, bro. So,
wow.
Like when you used to that type of, as the kids nowadays, they call them poverty franchises.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, it's amazing to see these guys have this level of success because it hasn't come easy. Now, conversely, I'm hearing Yankee fans, they've been complaining the past couple of years, but like, yo, y'all are like the most winningest franchise.
Yes, they are.
In like sports, period.
Yeah.
Yeah, in sports, period. Sports period.
Got 20 plus titles, and these people still complaining. Like you were saying, T Hill, these guys are in position to compete every year, even though they've been dropping the ball. They've been front runners the past couple years, but they're in position every year, bro. Every single year, they win 100+ games, and then they choke. That's what they've been doing since Boone has been the manager. But they're in position every year, and but Yankee fans, they don't be knowing how good they got it, bro. It's like,
I know.
Yeah,
y'all are in position every year.
Yeah, no, that's an absolute fact, and that's what I want out of my franchise. I understand where they're coming from because your ultimate goal is to win. And you want your team to win, but this is the thing: you're in the position to win every year. Like every year starts, you know that you can book some playoff seats.
Yep.
You can score some playoff tickets because you're gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? And more times than not, you might be able to book some World Series tickets because you're going to be there. But the difference is, like, whether it's the farm system, because I know for the Dodgers, that's where the problem lies now. It's the farm system. We don't have the talent evaluators that we used to have. The Yankees don't likewise have the talent that they had special players. Like Derek Jeter's a special player. Yeah. I remember I used to have this conversation all the time because, like, there were a bunch of good shortstops, but there was only one Derek Jeter. Right. Now, Derek Jeter numbers probably failed in comparison to a lot of these other shortstops, but when that money time was there, astronomical.
He was a clutch player too, Jeter. Yeah, he came
up big. Pitching.
Super.
And then they had this closer that.
We were kind of fading out a little, Ant.
Yeah, I thought it was me. You hear me, guys?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, yeah. And we couldn't hear you. You was giving us the shooby bop, dog.
Yeah, we didn't hear your last statement you made.
We got the computer love.
No, I was saying that.
There you go.
Mariano Rivera is like one of the best
facts.
Man. Like,
yeah.
God knows however many years. Like the Yankees.
For years, man. Yeah.
And here's the other thing too, T-Hill. Like they didn't have to worry about scouting because they always had money bags, man. Like the Steinbrenners had so much damn money, they could just blow through the luxury tax.
For sure.
We'll pay for it. We'll buy the
get whatever they needed every year.
Yeah, that was they got that. You're right about that. You know what? Yeah. Most of the big time moves, they actually make the move. They got me, and they still doing it today. They still doing it today.
And you know, the players are going to go there too because they know they're going to a winner. Got a good chance to get a ring, you know. With the Yankees,
you going to a Class A organization.
They might be
that's the other thing.
You know? Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I can't stand the Yankees. I really can't. But one thing I respect is the pedigree that they have. I know that them pinstripes, that means championship. That means we compete to win. Mm-hmm. That means you got to get in there and play big time baseball on big time stages. And they don't accept nothing less than that.
Oh, AT.
And they do got some fly uniforms too. Now, I ain't gonna.
You know, I wanted to ask you about LeBron and Bronny. What you think about that situation? They played their first game together and all that, right? I think it was a practice game. They was both
interesting dichotomy to me. Yeah, that's an interesting dichotomy from the fact that it's in basketball and that rarely, if never happens.
Mm-hmm.
But the dynamic was lost on me because I seen it happen before. I seen Ken Griffey Jr. In baseball. I seen Ken Griffey, and I mean, when it happened, you still got the best player in the game again with a very good older player.
That's right.
Right now, you possibly got the best older player in the game with a guy who probably wouldn't make most people's teams, man. But because he's LeBron.
If he wasn't LeBron's son, would he even be in the league?
I don't think so. Not averaging like 4 points in college like that. Like he's only in the league because of it. Yeah. Now, does he have the ability and the work ethic to become great? I think he can. Or not great. I won't say great. Great is a harsh word. I would say very good.
Yeah.
You know, he got supreme athleticism and, you know, he got an extreme work ethic. One thing I will say about him, but as far as talent and in the league, man, we for a number one choice. Yeah. For a number one choice. Come on, man. He would have
been in the D League for a few years if he wasn't LeBron's son, you know. Developing.
And that's always going to be the stigma. That's going to be the dynamic. Yeah. And people going to have a lot to talk about because of that link, man. And that's Tinseltown. See, that's truly the meaning of Tinseltown. See, before it was winning time. It was showtime. Yeah. Yo, we bring people in here that's going to help us win. The Lakers, and it started with Kobe, and I hate it because Kobe gets so much flack. I'm not even the biggest Kobe fan at the beginning, but I respected Kobe in the end because people could say what they want to say about Jordan. Jordan had a tremendous talent around his team. You play basketball, you guard the ball, you rebound the ball, you pass the ball, you score the ball, you finish with the ball. He had finishers on his team, he had shooters on his team, he had defenders on his team, he had rebounders on his team, he had ball handlers on his team.
Yeah.
Kobe rarely had that stuff. And if he did, he never really truly had shooting on his team. And you got to have, in today's game, in the game that he transitioned to, you needed shooters to space the floor even more.
Definitely now.
I mean, think about this. And this is the truest speak I'm going to say. I've only seen one other person, and I know why they did that. I've seen two other persons, I should say. And it was because they were about to break a record in an all-star game that people want Wilt to continuously hold. But who has been triple teamed their whole career in all-star game? Only one player, and that's Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant get the ball, but it'd be three people shading that brother. And it was like that in real life every game. You got the person that's coming to double, and you got the shade coming. And he can't kick it to nobody, and nobody gonna be dependent upon to hit the shot. And you know, he caught the flack for that when it was the dang organization being ran by a knucklehead son.
Yeah. And again, Chicago had that management, man. Excellent management.
Yeah. See where they messed up.
Exactly what they needed.
Where they messed up is they didn't want to pay Pippen.
I know.
But they didn't recognize how vital Pippen was to the success of that team.
Valuable to that team, man. They couldn't have won without him. They could have got somebody else similar, but they needed a Pippen type player there. It wasn't just Mike, you know.
For sure.
I'll
but
say
I'm
this about
Bronny
Bronny before we get out of here, Jay. I think that Bronny, where he was drafted, I think he could have still been picked. Because you talk about the guy like he got drafted in the first round, like he was a lottery pick. The dude was like the 55th pick or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't a high draft pick at all. He was like damn near close to being last. Put those back, man. He was close to being last.
What year was he in? Didn't he go to college? What year was he in?
Yeah, he went to USC.
For how many years did he go?
1 year.
1 year? Okay. Yeah, I thought they did go to college for 1 year. Yeah, right. Okay. But we'll see. It's getting ready to start up basketball again. It's time. Yeah.
No, I think that he's a hell of a talent though.
Oh, he is.
Probably in his genes.
Like T Hill said, he's got the athleticism.
Yeah.
He plays really good defense. He got good vision, so he's a good playmaker. I just think that at the NBA level, he's got to get more consistent with his shot. That's the one. Because more than likely on this team that he's on right now, they're not going to have him in situations where he's a primary ball handler or even a secondary ball handler. He's going to be a 3-and-D guy. You're going to play some defense, and when you're in the game, you're going to play some defense and be able to knock down an open shot.
Right.
Most likely an open three because they're going to have him space on the floor. If he does that, and he continues to grow his game, I think he'll be just fine. I truly do, but I think it's on him.
Yeah.
But, for where he was picked, I don't think it's just a matter of him being LeBron James' son. Because if that were the case, I feel like he would have been picked way higher, not like 55th or 56th, wherever he was picked at. A lot of those guys that are getting picked that low, or, you know,
what is it, like second or third round, something like that?
That's the second round.
It's only second round. We didn't have very many picks.
Them dudes all got similar numbers. All of them dudes that was in college that was averaging 4 and 5 a game. You're not gonna have anybody who was doing anything major in college getting picked that far into the draft. You got few exceptions where guys slip, like Jalen Brunson, won 2 championships in Villanova. He slipped to the second round, but for the most part, it don't happen like that. Them guys don't make it out the first round for the most part.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was going to the point where they were saying he might not get picked. He might have to get picked up in free agency. But his what's her name was off the charts. His workout. No, his workout. Yeah, his workout. Yeah. They say he was pushing some numbers in his workout, so therefore they said, nah, you know, he possibly could get drafted second round.
Okay. All right. Well, we gotta get ready to get out of here. Y'all got anything else? The big fight is tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
I'm excited for it, man.
Yeah,
man.
I'm
rooting for Beterbiev, but as a boxing fan, I'm always open to seeing something that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
So it would be absolutely poetic if two of these extreme tackle. Like, could you imagine if Bivol were to knock Beterbiev out with one shot? The guy who can't punch. That would be exciting to see.
Yes, it would.
A straight right hand right on the chin or uppercut or something like that. He just knocks him out. Like, that's like a super unlikely outcome.
Beterbiev box. Oh, go ahead, Ant.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you give it. Yeah, we on the same page. Yeah.
That's a weight. Yeah, absolutely. Like, I would love to see that too.
Yeah.
Like, the guy who's supposed to be the brawler,
who
comes in, and then you like, damn, like, I knew he had skills, but I didn't know it was like that.
Right. Box beautiful for 12 rounds and take a unanimous decision or something. Beterbiev.
And I believe he has the skill set to do that. And I know you do too, but not too many people believe that. I mean, it's very possible that he could outbox him for 12 rounds, man. It's like you said, it's possible. It's plausible that Bivol can hit him with a nice shot that he didn't see or expect, and it put him out.
He got 12 knockouts. 50%, so it could happen, you know.
But yeah, it's a great fight, like Ant said. I mean, I can't wait.
Yep.
It's something that I've been looking for the longest. That's what we asked of these people to do, and somehow it was lost in the sauce, bro. That's what's baffling to me. We're talking about Devin, which Devin should do, T.O. what T.O. saying, Ryan with Ryan did, and Tank, who he's not going to fight. We haven't even really spent a great time talking about Bivol and Beterbiev. Like, that's crazy.
It's out there, man. You
exactly.
Now that we get there and really look at it, you know.
So I fully expected to live up to the hype that we had prior to this week.
I think so.
I look forward for the card to be one that matches.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful card.
And I think that hopefully this fight be such a great fight and get such a great response that it will entice other promoters and other fighters to accept the challenge.
Yeah. Jack Massey and Jai Apatow, the co-main could be a good one too, man. You know, it's a good card overall.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that Fabio Worley rematch too, man.
Oh yeah.
I rewatched that. I rewatched that fight yesterday. The first one, that thing was action packed, man.
Yeah. They had a draw, right? The first time.
Yeah. Frazier got dropped.
That was this year too.
Busted.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that was a terrific fight.
Both undefeated too. Both undefeated. They both got pretty good knockout race too. Yeah,
well,
they can pop, man. Both of them.
I'm gonna say this. Tremendous card, tremendous main event, tremendous show, tremendous talent on the panel, and my main man, Ant McQueen. You got to govern yourself accordingly. If you have not hit the like button, hit the like button on your way out. Remember, knock before you enter. Ring the doorbell before you walk through. Also, slide on over to Just Do Boxing, where you can always find someone giving boxing his just due, and it's been a blessing.
That's right. Appreciate y'all. Ant, Thomas Hill. And now we are going.
Appreciate you.
Okay, Ant, you got anything else before you jump off, Ant? Oh, he jumped off. Okay. Ant McQueen and Thomas Hill on the panel today. We are going to Just Do Boxing now. It's Friday. We were just talking about that big fight we got tomorrow and the JBT raffle. What a weekend it's going to be. We will know the winners tomorrow, and we will know the first ever 4-belt undisputed champion at light heavyweight. Maybe. Wouldn't it be something if it be a draw? But I doubt it. But that's tomorrow. But I appreciate everybody for rocking with me this entire week. Appreciate Ed McQueen and Thomas Hill for coming up, helping me out on the panel at the end. Appreciate everybody. And I'll be back next week because, if it's Monday through Friday at 2 p.m., it's the Boxtorian bringing you all that boxing history. Just Do Boxing is now on. This is Cass Sports, the Boxtorian. Everybody have a great weekend and enjoy the fight. We talk about it Monday. I'm out.